Hello. Morning, people. Okay. Okay. I would first of all to use the word warm welcome. Okay, that's it's already hot. I'll say hearty welcome to everybody. Okay. So it's my pleasure to invite every one of you. Okay. So we will start off with a series of sets of programs, which is called the agenda. Now. I've met only a few people. Okay, so in case I do miss out somebody, my apologies. Okay, so I think first of all I'll start off with Mr. Kailash Nathan Swaminathan. Okay, so the founder of Microsense. Microsense, as we were talking inside the meeting room. Okay, it's 40 years. 40 years. If you take it on the scale, it's too big. But if you take mathematically, it's only 4 decades. Okay, the four is very less. And Mr. Rajiv Talwar, okay, was not able to make it. Okay, probably he'll join us on the call. And Sunil Menon, okay, CTO, IBUS, Reshma, okay, and founder of Toss the Coin, Uttam Vasudevan, um, VP HR, and Subhash Vasudevan, CBO, and Ram Salaratnam sir, CEO, IBUS, and Niruti, okay, so I don't know whether she's in. Okay, she's on the way. Okay, and Rishabh, okay, probably they will join. Uh, okay, GD, okay, nice meeting you, sir. Okay, okay. So I would request the first event is going to be okay, lighting of the lamp. I would request bo- both of you, sir.
settlement to settle down.
Folks, I would request everybody to have their seats so that we can have a small a video presentation about
Some of
Mr.
you can
Kailash
gather
sir.
that side too, right?
Somebody.
So that we don't get divided.
Okay. So everybody who are not able to see from this side, I can request you two people to come over there, over that side, please. Okay, Tamil Thai Varthu by group Microsense. Can I request everybody to stand? Okay.
இங்க கூட பிருந்தா நம்ம ரெண்டு பேரும் பாடலாம். ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணுவோம்.
குரல் ரெண்டு இருக்கு இது சென்டர்ல நம்ம ரெண்டு
ஓகே ஓகே.
நீராறும் கடலொடுத்த நிலமடந்த கெளிலொழுகும் சீராறும் வதனமென திகழ் பரத கண்டமதில் தெக்கணமும் அதிசிறந்த திராவிடனன் திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு பிறைநரும் தரிசனரும் திலகமுமே அத்திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகம் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிழமை திறம் வியந்து செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே.
Thank you. Okay, so now we'll have the video presentation about Mr. Kailash sir. Okay, people can have a seat so they can have a good view of the video.
You thought you could get away, but you never gonna get away. You can break me, you break me, you break me. Never gonna get away. No, you can kill me, you thought you could get away, but you never gonna get away.
Okay, that was indeed outstanding. Okay, now I would invite Mr. Subhash to give a welcome speech.
Is the entire Microsense team here now? Is this the only strength? No? Oh, they're all live, huh? I'm not able to see all of you. I thought I'll be able to see everybody in person here. But you know, earlier, just before the event started officially, I was thinking, I wanted to see all of you in a traditional attire. I saw only a few people, the women in traditional attire. Very interesting. All of you looking beautiful. Okay, the song was an interesting, beautiful song. So maybe formally, I'm going to welcome all of you to the new office here. I hope this office is a much more interesting place than I think we all have seen. In fact, much better than our IBA's office, I would say. So IBA's office right now in Bangalore, this is a much better. I think we all will start coming to this office very often. Now, before we go forward, I think let's take one step back. We were just talking about the journey of Mr. Kailash. How exactly he started about 40 years back. And I also heard stories about people who have worked here more than 20 years. Kudos to all of you guys. I think because of you folks, this company is here today. And thank you, sir, for building such a great organization. And now recently, maybe a couple of months before, IBUS has taken over the journey forward. I think the journey begins now. So we have a big dream, I would say. I would say that there is one quote I would take. Somebody said, "You dream and you make it happen." Walt Disney's, words, I would say. You had a dream and you made it happen. Now we all, myself, Sunil and Ram, we had another dream. We're going to have another dream together. This company is going to become much, much bigger than what you have done. And we all need your blessings, sir. And also Rajiv who's online. Thank you so much. I think we have aligned a very big event here for today at least. I think it's going to culminate with a interesting, what we call as a traditional lunch here. We call it as sapad, right? I think we all must be waiting for that one. Okay. Thank you for welcome again for a fantastic day here. Appreciate all the efforts done by the team behind to make this happen. I think Sujit and Uttam and Prem, others who made this, and Inakshi, Raja. Okay, all of the guys who are done to make this office a success here. Welcome to all of you. Let's begin the day today. Okay, thank you all.
Something special for you, Suman.
Like?
Okay, the next event that's going to be that's going to take place or that's going to happen is a fireside chat. Okay, so I would request Mr. Kailash Nathan Swaminathan, Rajiv Tulva, who's on the video conference, Sunil Menon, and Reshma, of course.
Yeah, reorganize.
Three, because Mr. Rajiv is anyway online, so just the three of us. No, you can. No, you can please do that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Arun, and thank you. Welcome everybody to this amazing, beautiful day, especially because it is all about two very, very important aspects, which is celebrating the legacy and then harnessing the foundation to really take it forward. So today's conversation is going to be about celebrating this legacy and then how do we harness this foundation so we can become greater and we can become the kind of company that we are all proud of. So for this, I have with me, of course, Mr. Kailash sir, thank you for coming. And Sunil, thank you for being here. We're just going to have a very casual, nice conversation, trying to capture as many stories as we can from them about what is it that Microsense has been all about. And what does this whole marriage between IBIS and Microsense, where is it going to take us? The idea here is for us to listen to them and also understand where we are going to be going with this whole story. We do have a networking and lunch later on, like everybody keeps saying, where I'm hoping that if you do have any specific questions, we can take it up then. However, if you think it's important to present it after the fireside, then please let me know, and depending on how the time is, we'll figure it out. Otherwise, do take advantage of the networking lunch. Don't just focus on eating. Actually meet the leadership, meet everybody, interact with them, get to know them, ask them questions. They are extremely forthcoming. So they will be in a position to really just have a nice chit chat with you. Great, we shall start. Super. Yeah, Rishabh. Yeah. Welcome, Rishabh and Niruti. Yes.
Hi, Niruti. Good to meet you after so long.
Good timing, I must say.
Yeah, good timing.
Yeah. So Niruti and Rishabh have played a pivotal role in where we are today. So it's a great timing for you, both of you. We are just starting the fireside chat, all about discussion on the past, discussion on future. So that is where we are. So Kailash sir, I think we have to start with you. That is, that is how Microsense started, right? I believe in August you celebrated the 40th year of Microsense, and that's wow, right? I think for a company, to come to this point where people are talking about the celebration, it is something that everybody is proud of. Can you give us a quick, walk back into the 40 years ago and what exactly led to Microsense?
Can I start now?
Yes, please.
Am I audible?
You can go a little.
Okay, way back 40 odd years ago, Rajiv Talwar, my partner of so many years, called me over phone. I guess it must have been difficult to use the phone in those days, but anyway, he did call me over phone, and he invited me to Mumbai. The purpose he explained. The purpose was I went there to his home, and I saw on his tables a couple of Apple II computers. He was keen that we should introduce this into India. Mm. And I said, it's impossible because we were right in the middle of the so-called license Raj. Mm-hmm. And I knew everything about licenses of those days, and it was impossible to import Apples or anything. I said, the only way you can enter this business is to make these computers in India. And that's how Microsense got started. We designed our first computer all in-house. It was not an Apple. It was not an IBM either. And our first computer was an individual from Hyderabad. Our second customer was, I think, Britannia Industries. So right from there, we were competing with people like HCL, Wipro, and all the biggies. And we were there small time. And that culture, in a sense, has continued because we were wanting to be the number one. And we had a partner then by the name of Anil Vasudeva. I need to mention his name because he was pivotal to the whole thing. However, he is no more. So he was our marketing director. We owe a lot to him. We got the order from Britannia Industries and a host of other people. It was thanks to him. So we had marquee customers right then. And we were neck to neck with all the other HCL and other people and so on and so forth. And later on, we got selected by the Indian Banks Association to supply PCs to the banks. In those days, there was no automation in the banks. There was a bank union, and it was a big issue. So anyway, they selected us as well as a number of people, including we had to supply the software as well. And we successfully completed that. I guess very few would have successfully completed that. We collected all our monies also, which is a big deal in those days. So right at that time, we were on the top of and doing very well in the computer business. But we decided to get out of it. The reason we decided to get out of it was because it was becoming a gray market business. People were importing boards or semi-knocked down boards, assembling them. IBM PC compatibles took the center stage, and there was not much technology that we could contribute there. And then at that time, I guess it may be 87 or 86 or something, we shifted to communications, which means we were selling modems and supplying and installing modems, also with software. So once again, our customers are all marquee customers. Hindustan Lever, Brookport, name them, and they were all our customers. And data communication was the need of the hour in those days. We got into various kinds of data communication. ITC entire data communication was we were doing. The entire connectivity of all the ITC groups, the tobacco group, the oils group, the printing and packaging. We used some technology called X.25, which was usable in those days. And then later we signed up with US Robotics as their distributors in India. So our business was going on extremely well. And again, we were sort of number one in that business. Then there was an advertisement from BSNL calling for agents, and we applied. That was in 1994. And we were appointed as the All India agent of BSNL in 1995. Internet became available for commercial use from August 15th, 1995, Independence Day. And September, October, we were appointed as agents. And we became the largest All India agent of BSNL, which is a monopoly. And we used to get demand drafts from all over the country pouring into our company. And we had modems, US Robotics modems. The combination was very powerful. But a few years down the road, things got changed again because, internet was privatized and all kinds of people. And in fact, the method of internet delivery had become different. So it was not possible to simply survive in that business. Around that time in 1997, we sent a fax to Taj Group of Hotels. We don't know who they were. They were buying some modems from us. We said, we'll give you a solution for internet from the rooms.
Oh, wow.
We sent such a message to Oberoi also. There were really no Marriott's and other kind of chains were not available in India. But the next day, Taj called us back. Or I don't know how they got in touch with us. They wanted to go forward. They said, we'll do a beta. You do one. We will not pay you anything. If it's successful, we'll pay you. So we installed the first technology for using the internet from a guest room in India somewhere in 1997 in Taj, Bengal.
Excellent.
It was successful, and Taj gave us 16 more hotels to do the same way. And then they said by 2000, they said they wanted to go into Wi-Fi. Taj was and still is sort of a front runner in technology. So we set up Wi-Fi for them in Taj Mahal, Mumbai. First was Taj Coromandel. JD is here. JD can give me.
Oh, wow.
I know that he and I were standing in the telecommunication room trying to get that first. I'm talking about 1997. Wow. Correct. We were
Excellent.
putting some wires together and whatever it is. You have to connect. There was some technology in that, and you have to integrate things with the PBX, digital PBX. So he was there. And he was there when we did the Wi-Fi in Taj, Coromandel and Connemara were about the first that we did. And immediately after that with Taj Mahal, he's as much as me, he's a pioneer in this business, Mr. Jaychand Devdas. He's now retired from Taj. He was... so that's how it happened, and then we grew, and we stayed number one in that business. And that business, it became such that you couldn't give it to. You could say that you could have a competitor from any of the system integrators, or you could have a competitor from the telcos, like Airtel.
Correct.
There was no Reliance in those days, but there was Reliance. There is Anil Ambani's group actually got into that business. Airtel got it. Tata's, of course, got into that business. But we were better than all of them.
Super.
So that's how it is. And while, we're all, myself and Rajiv Talwar are past 70, we're happy to hang up our boots. But one of the reasons why we have done that, we are doing this, is so that that's something that we didn't want to do, was to grow this company into much scale up, much more than it was currently doing. Correct. While we are always number one, we were not very big at any time. But that's the path that Ram and Sunil and he are taking us.
Yes.
So we're very happy with this move, and we wish them all the best. And we're very happy for our people. That was one of the first things that I told Sunil Menon, if I'm not mistaken, when we were first talking to them in Bangalore. The first thing that I looked into is how well our company people would fit into the iBus. And I felt it was, they would fit seamlessly. And that's how it happened. Thank you.
Excellent. I think this is a great story for all of us. In fact, for all of us, this is almost like an MBA lesson, right? That you listen live, where you're looking at how businesses are formed. Maybe from the first question of let's bring Apple, but then no, let's make our own, right? These are the Make in India stories that everybody wants to talk about. But then how do you pivot that business depending on where the market is going, and then continue to keep taking up challenges? Because like you said, being number one and not necessarily being largest. So people a lot of times try and relate the two, right? They assume that if you're number one, you need to be the largest. But it's about being number one with our stakeholders, which is our employees, our customers. And that is the foundation which I personally think is going to be the connecting joint for Microsense and iBus, because the foundations are this strong for both the companies. And that really works for us. In fact, maybe, the next question, I will pass it on to you before coming back. Sir, I have some interesting questions for you. But just before that, because we've been talking about how, Microsense has created a lot of landmark stories by working with the Taj Mahal story. I think there is a Grand Chola story we can hear later about foray into the US with Sirata Beach Resort, Florida. That was a great story that we need to, know about. But then the whole idea is that now with this whole integration, what is the aspiration that we should be looking forward to? If you can, Sunil, help us articulate that for us.
Thank you, Reshma, and thank you for giving us that illustrious and very inspiring story. I'm sure it will be a very large booth. You said that you hung the booth, but I'm sure it will be very large for us to actually fit into in some form. But to answer your question, the spark of innovation or inspiration comes from every entrepreneur in some form who are pioneers, and then they take it forward. They probably imitate it. They take it forward. They innovate, and they even make it better, right? And like you said, of course, the largest or the number one need not be the largest. But at least it can consistently be the best and innovative, and that's what we have been trying to do. technologically we may not be innovating all the time, but definitely in terms of the business solution, or at least the market solution, we were always looking at how to innovate that. That's how we were always looking at it to build into the telecom a solution which while everybody else was trying to build a network or even some other infrastructure, we thought that there is one space which was largely underserved, and that is where all the action or the requirements are getting shifted to, and that's where we thought that it's for us to start with. And then of course there were pioneers before us, but then what held us in good stead was that we were consistent. We were innovating about it, and like you were inspired by Apple. Where was the Apple was inspired from? Look at it. The Apple Store, which was one of the greatest success, in terms of the application, which changed the way which we today use. The way all the transactions that happens. It came from someone else a person called Josiah Wedgwood. He started inline stores, and Steve Jobs entirely copied from him. But did he stop there? No, he innovated it, right? And the same thing had happened in terms of Jeff Bezos, who made the delivery such a spectacular model today. So for every entrepreneur or for any successful business, there is always something that inspires them, which they imitate, or they take some of those models, and they innovate that, and they consistently innovate and see that it doesn't remain irrelevant. So I hope that sums up.
Absolutely. No, thank you so much. I think that's good. And the point that it talks about is having a dream and then having the dream team.
Absolutely.
Right?
No, I agree with you as that. So you are only as good as your team.
Exactly.
And the biggest success of an entrepreneur is that how successfully he can aggregate a good team,
Exactly.
so that they buy into his vision or their vision, and it becomes part of the collective vision.
Yeah, you need to have a shared vision board.
Absolutely.
And I think that's where, sir, between you and Rajiv, sir, right? Of course, I know that is it a sheer coincidence that you actually married a Punjabi and he actually married a Tamilian? Yeah, it almost looks like by design, right? So...
Well, I can say that he got married earlier than I.
Acha.
So, who's following whom, you can.
Yeah, that's true. No, but it's amazing because, see, that equation had to be so important, right? Between you and him, between the roles that you play. You may have a favorite client between the two of you, or maybe a project that will always be close to both of you. If you could share about that, is there something like that we can hear about?
Well, the thing is that both Rajiv and if there is a hallmark between the two of us, we were both objective businessmen. So that's what made us stick together over all these years. So there was no emotions, there was no nothing. So whatever decisions had to be taken, they were taken by the weight of logic. And both of us were blessed with this, I think. So there were favorite customer. I can tell you customer stories, but difficult to talk about favorite customers. I had some favorite customers.
Of course.
More from the point of view of the story of it.
Yes. Did you have one around the Grand Chola maybe, or how about the US, foraying into the US? That must have been a difficult one.
Grand Chola was like this, that Grand Chola was, you must understand with ITC, we were the only player. And there were times when there were a lot of competitors flying around who were trying to get into these accounts. But ITC never even looked at them. There have been occasions when they would just, 3-year contract will be over, they will extend it by another 3 years on the phone. Even though they knew very well that there were these other competitors who were running after them, they didn't even bother about them. So the Wi-Fi portion of Grand Chola was a given. And at the time, Grand Chola was the biggest hotel in India. I think it still may be. But our first contract, the business in which IBUS specializes, which is in-building solution, was the Grand Chola.
Okay.
My theory was that was a business that we had to get into because we were in this business, and why are we not getting into that business? And it so happened that ATC, American Tower Corporation, somebody came and knocked on our door. They had a they were doing a management project, and they said this, that, and we said they just selected us from the internet, and they came in. And it so happened that at that time I was very keen to do a distributed antenna system business. And many people were running behind Grand Chola to do that. So I told them I do that, but we had never done one before. So there's no point in just going blindly and say we'll do, correct? But we had this big company called ATC, which was promising us that they knew everything about this business. So I went to Grand Chola and I said we wanted to do that. We wanted to do this business. And I'm quoting now. The gentleman who was the decision maker, or almost the decision maker, he said, you see, we both are like married to each other. You know, we're like a married couple. You want to do? Please welcome. That's how,
Right.
you know,
Yes, yes.
orders are got. So we got that order. We made it into a tripartite order because of that ATC. But when we started doing that, we found that ATC knew nothing about it. And they were getting us into all kinds of bad this thing. And I was facing the flak. What have we done? So I had to get down,
Learn.
you know, roll up my socks and fix all the problems.
Right. Nice.
Fix all the problems. And then it started working fine. From that day onward, Sujit doesn't want to do this business.
Now
Yeah.
he's got his, he wants to do more.
Now, exactly.
Recognize Neha,
Yes.
you know, representing Morgan Stanley.
How are you? Nice to meet you.
Welcome, Neha. Please.
So that is a story of a
Nice.
customer.
Absolutely.
The thing I like about that story is that he recognizes us as their married partners.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Absolutely. I think that is testimonials that come very naturally, right? And this is a live example of what we've always heard from Richard Branson and a lot of leaders, all of us, that when an opportunity comes, even if you don't know about it, say yes and then learn how to do it. And somewhere it's all about the hunger that we need to have to constantly learn, to constantly grow. And see, with the Microsense team, we have been involved over a few years. And one thing was always there is the team is extremely collaborative. And that, I think, comes from the way, they've come up. It's a very family-oriented, setup that they have, right? And I know that IBUS themselves have an enigmatic team of leaders who are pretty much like the dream team for you. How do you see this integration playing for the global, plans that you have?
So like you said about it's a journey, right? So what would have worked until now, probably with the family or anybody becoming a part of a family, is that you cannot choose your family, right? It just happens to you. Is that, but if you are, as you wanted to know, in terms of the international foray, it has to be more professional, right? So there it has to be a complementary team. It has to be very professional. It has to go out and do it, and there is always going to be people will be judged in terms of merit, not how you are related to someone. So that's of course is what our motto has always been, that we wanted it to be as professional as it can be.
Yes, no, absolutely. In fact, that's what I'm trying to say, that for us to be now, when going big in the global scenario, what can all of us here, look forward to in the next few years also?
Oh yeah, so the global expansion part, yeah. So we are also treating very cautiously, yeah, because it's a baby step for us also, because whatever we have tried to aggregate, the current business, we wanted to see that organically it grows. It improves, it innovates further and becomes consistently relevant for the times that it is in. But that doesn't mean that we will not take this know-how or this ability to other geographies in the world. And we are looking at it, and we we have started that there is an inorganic opportunity to scale, which will definitely help us to become quickly acquire our aspirations.
I think that's excellent. And what about with this whole technology of 5G and then the wireless side of it? It definitely, they complement each other, but what do you think of them? Do you have, a side that you want to share with everybody?
Yeah. So there are a lot of information, limited information that goes around, and people talk about it. So when the computers were coming in the early probably 80s or 90s, then people were thinking, and you said that in Indian Bank Association, the workers or probably the members were against it. Similarly, when the calculators came, we all thought that people, kids will stop learning mathematics in school. And then the recent one, the chat GPT, is that, the lot of work, will become, or people will become irrelevant. I don't believe it. There is a constant innovation which will help. These are all tools which will help us to become, better at what our job is. So that is going to be, and the same is going to be in terms of technology. Yes, there will be some redundancies that is going to happen. The 5G is what it is going to be is that, it will serve a certain use cases. But can it be, just like, 3G or 4G, for exclusively for the voice? It is not going to be. So, the second part of the 5G is going to be, it is a very expensive, infrastructure, to roll out for, to create that kind of an experience. So for Wi-Fi is going to be the most sought after, access for the internet or for any kind of a transaction in many days, and I think at least for the next decades to come. And it will evolve in terms of, as the 5G is coming from the 4G, the fifth generation. Similarly, the sixth generation is already here, and already the seventh generation. I can say for sure, the seventh generation, the modems and those access points are already getting into the market. So yes, it will be much better. The same kind of an experience, same speed, or the low latency that we are talking in terms of the 5G. It is definitely going to be served through and at much cheaper and in a cost-effective way. Another aspect of 5G and the Wi-Fi or any other protocol that is going with, particularly the IoT is coming of age, you will see that there is going to be a convergence, right? So the technology as such will become commoditized or subservient to what is the use cases and the applications are going to be. So it will not only coexist, it will make the experience much better for all our consumers.
So complement each other.
Absolutely, they will be complement.
Great. This itself, tells all of us that there is so much to look for and so many more milestones that as a company we have to keep crossing and building our stories together, building our memories together. And at this point, Kailash sir, you've come to a point where you, with Rajiv sir, you started Microsense, then you built a team, you brought in Mr. Sujit, you brought in the rest of the company and the leaders that you have, and came to a point where you understood that this was the right time, to go ahead and collaborate with another corporation like IBIS Group. And everybody here, with the video that they put up for you, I think that was a beautiful video, and that just shows the kind of love that everyone have for you. Do you have a message for all the Microsense family members that you have here? What is it that you would like to tell them? And remember, in terms of what's from your side of it, and then maybe we can also have a recorded message from Mr. Rajiv later on, but today you could talk from both of your behalf maybe.
Yeah, I certainly need to do that. You have been talking of the team and he has been talking of the team, but the person who has to be most talking about the team is me. And people have mentioned that people have been working here for 20 years or more. And first of all, I must be grateful, I don't know, to them or to God or what it is, that I have had such a wonderful team working. And I must say that whatever be the time of day or night, they were always available for the company. And, they would work out of their skin to make things happen. I see so many faces around me. There is nobody I can differentiate because all of them have been like this. So my message to my Microsense friends is, please carry on working like that. That's what the company needs from you. And like we have all, what is ahead of us is all, excitement. We always wanted to acquire Intertouch. I have a number of times called up the Intertouch India guy, and I was in touch with the Singapore guys and all that for various reasons. We were looking at IBAN. IBAN was we were bidding for IBAN, which was later on got acquired by Gestech. So all that is going to happen. And in order for it all to end successfully, he was saying they want to tread cautiously. Obviously, you have to tread cautiously, but don't let go of this opportunity, because we have all that is needed to make that successful. Because the purchase price is something, and you don't want to take China. It's a wise decision not to take China. But please try your best to make this deal happen. And my message to all our guys is, please give your best for the company. It is for your company's interest, and it is in your interest, and the company will go from strength to strength. I have the highest confidence. Like I said right in the beginning, I before we entered into a deal with IBUS, my first thought was with our people, whether they would be happy in the new, and I was convinced they would be. And I'm sure I've asked a few people how do you feel and all that. They're all very happy with whatever is going on. And the new office, which is much better than the old office. So my message to all the Microsense team is, give it your best. Make sure that the company is successful.
Great. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I think those are precious words for everybody who's worked with you. Sunil, what would you like to tell, the Microsense team, and on behalf of course, Subhash and Ram and rest of IBUS, is there a message you would want to tell them?
Yeah. Despite getting inspired by Kailash and Ram and Subhash, for always been there in the thick and thin. But one thing is that we cannot sit or rest on our laurels, and whatever journey we would have taken over the IBUS for last a decade, or probably for Microsense for let's say 4 decades, is that the whatever learning that we have done is that we should not be ideally resting on it. Is that how do we use that and see that, of course, when Kailash said that he always wanted to acquire Intertouch or IBAN. So here is an opportunity that is coming in, and we should not be letting it go at any cost. That is one. Second is that it's not necessary that a company to be scaled probably, or it takes its own journey of 3 years of 3 decades or something. The circumstances largely probably contributes to that, but for the next 3 or 4 years is very critical for us, right? Whatever we could achieve in, let's say, in the last decade or in 3 decades, we can probably do that, or we aspire to do that in the next 3 to 4 years, and that is the journey, and it is going to be a very hell of a journey. It is going to be we whatever comfort we had probably now, it's definitely not going to be there, and there is going to be a lot of disruptions, lot of chaos, lot of pain, but it's a journey that we have embarked on, and wittingly or unwittingly, and then there is no other option. We have to do that, and in the next 4 years, we will be probably doubling or tripling for whatever we have done until now. So that is something which I think I would like to share that with you, and we are all we are all there in this, and we will be supporting each other. I'm not saying that few people will be able to do, or Microsense alone will be able to do. No, there will be a host of new supports that will be brought in terms of for us to achieve that, and probably this office is the new beginning towards that. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. I think this is the phenomenal inspiration that all of us want to, continuously see every morning when we come into work. One of my favorite quote is, a mighty oak was once a tiny seed. And it's that journey at every point of time where we know that we have to become the mighty oak that is going to give shelter to everybody who comes under it. it's not just always about the money, right? It's not always about growing as a business in terms of what does the P&L sheet look like. It's about how many people did we take with us. And that is what together we're going to do here. We're going to become a mighty oak tree that's going to give shelter to so many people that they are always going to remember the memories that they built under it, the games they played, the family that they brought, right? And that is the story that we are all continuing, and this is a brand new chapter. So I'm very happy that you both were in a position to actually share this with all of us. And of course, like I said earlier, we should look at how we can take use of the time during lunch and network with everybody here. If you have questions, please ask then and get your answers, because that's one thing that will always happen. And I'm taking the liberty of saying this on behalf of Tibus team, because I know them very well, it is an open door policy. So from that angle, it's always about just knocking once, and the door will always open for you to ask questions, for you to figure out what else can we do. So the question is, what can we do? And you will get the answers. Thank you so much once again.
Absolutely, I agree with you, Reshma. Is that see, we may not have all the answers. It's not necessary that if there is a project that all the relevant information should be there. And as long as the thought is logical, we definitely want to do that.
Exactly. That's the Grand Chola example also that Sir gave, right? You may not have all the answers, and things will always be up and down and up and down, and that's how heartbeats are, right? Straight lines are no life. Heartbeats are meant to move up and down. So let's continue to do that. Thank you so much again. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for it.
Just to help you understand a bit of the agenda, we are going to move into a round of felicitating and recognizing everybody who has played a pivotal role in making this entire thing happen. And then we are going to have message from Uttam, and then we're going to hear Sujit talking, after which, we will move into the lunch. So, yes, Arun, back to you. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Yeah, even now in the felicitation. After the video? Yeah, and then before the asking.
That was a good video over there. Okay. Okay. Two things. Okay, before I call out our next person to talk. Okay, the first time I spoke to Mr. Kailash. Okay, there was one which I tell my team and rest of the people whomever I speak with. Okay, the first thing is any project that you take, first of all, you will need to accept imperfection. accept imperfection, you actually create a perfection. So that's one of the major thing which I learned. Okay, so now I request Mr. Ram sir to have a few words about. Okay,
Thank you very much. In fact, I don't want to again restart what Kailash had meant and Sunil mentioned from IBUS side, what is in front of us. Let me give you that dimension. In fact, the story of how we came together. Maybe that will be a little more interesting. So that the thought came from quite some time. In fact, when we first began our the horizontal increase, like what, since we defined ourselves as a solving for connectivity, then we say why stick to cellular, one protocol? Why can't we do Wi-Fi? And I remember the first project, Sunil and I, we took a bet on wiring up a huge mall in Bangalore. That's where we start. We have to focus ourselves as a connectivity company, not as a telecom company or a Wi-Fi company. That's the thought. I mean, that is a still thought that voiced even today. We are solving for connectivity, connecting humans, connecting devices is the way we define ourselves. And then go and execute them. And the technology is just, see, when you abstract at one layer, it's about physics. So if you can connect over this protocol, you can do it other protocol. And now we're getting into IoT. That's the thought came. So therefore, we need to scale the Wi-Fi business. Then we discovered that there's a specialist networking. In fact, I would frame hospitality. You defined hospitality Wi-Fi by that story you mentioned. So there are networks specific for industry which can also be scaled, and there could be synergies. See, today, Kailash, I'm happy to tell you that because we did that, now we get synergies, both in the business model-wise and the technology solutions-wise. Now, I don't want to get into the technology aspect of it. There's a backhaul synergies, so many things that is possible, so that you can unlock tremendous value. In fact, the value realization we happened as we started scaling, we thought it's about 2x, 3x we are able to get, because we did about a couple more as well in the same domain. So that's the thought that came, and that's the journey. When I remember the first call, I called Kailash, and he said, talk to Sujit. Then I spoke to Sujit. That was wonderful. And then we met Niruti and all, Morgan. In fact, a very key player in this. Morgan was not only financial, they gave the money, but they gave the insight through Raja and now Neha. I mean, we want to recognize that. Without their support and the confidence and people like Niruti and Rishabh, who are interested in making the deal happen. Because when you go and talk to somebody, there are 10 different ways of how not to happen. Oh, that risk, this risk, and all this. So these guys, and Kunal, my colleague, couldn't make it today. We sat there saying that both the fins we were aligned. In fact, he was an inspiration from me. Not only because I'm not trying to sound parochial. So I see myself in him, because Chennai, Carnatic music, all that. But I'm not as smart as him. But still, that I said, boss, I can connect with Kailash. Remember, one of the few people, in fact, I graduated 10 years later than him. And then I chose everybody who did engineering, Kailash, to go to US. So otherwise there was no jobs. Because of those times, you joined a government company, L&T, there were only few companies. So as a fifth year of engineering, you try exam, write GRE and go away. Thankfully, I got a job. So I was not here in India at all till all my. Then I realized, here is a man, none of us in the class, the only goal was to get out of India and go to GRE and get admission, MS, and of course, green card, all of that happens. Many of them are till today. And then I met Kailash's story, and not only him, Rajiv. They are from IIT Madras guys, is a thing everybody aspires for. You can't even enter. When you go there, you feel uncomfortable. You feel low. It's like a Howard. So I see that, look at them, what they have done to India. Whatever it is, they built this network. That's the inspiration we sounded. And then that's the thing we wanted to came together. Just to complete the story, we had that conversation. We had wonderful people. And then I met Sujit. We've been interacting. And then it came together now. And what, as Sunil said, we're going to multiply. We're going to amplify this story. It was made in India for the world. That's the thing, in fact, some of us are telling ourselves. We can make products and solutions for the world. That is why we took inspiration. Unfortunately, it's being telecast live. I can't take names. I will ask the video team to edit out any names that were spoken. It is strictly, nothing is, it is all the thought. But the point we have taken, yes, Kailash, our goal is to go accelerate. So just to give you some numbers, IBUS has been growing at close to about 80% CAGR growth last 6 years. That is the velocity at which we grow, both organic and inorganic. Because we feel that there's a huge domain, big problem. Digital infrastructure, there's a new name for connectivity, is huge. And India is, the numbers we look at is we have covered about 500 million, Kailash, of coverage area. We see the potential to be 25 billion, and we are not able to put up. And people are still figuring out. 5G, we're saying not penetrating. Everything is under-penetrated, even in India. So that is the direction the company is growing. Again, it's a message to Microsense team and then the rest of IBUS team as well, is that we're going to grow exponentially. I mean, now the pace, it's not fast. They're saying the new word for this is blitzing. We want to, I mean, with your guidance and wishes, that's the thing IBUS is on that journey. And because of the collective strength we have, we feel there's a perfect storm. We have a perfect blessing. We got a great time in India, the time we are in. And then huge digital transformation is happening. And look at the other thing. See, every technology transformation is happening. Every generation, everything has to be refreshed. That's the beauty of this. If you have covered 500 million of 4G, you have to do it for 5G again. There's a lot more, because technology gives you that ability. So therefore, imagine 25 billion, we are not even scratched the surface. So it's a tremendous possibility. And then the definitely other thing is the convergence, which Sunil keeps talking from a technology perspective. How we can bring in IoT. I mean, even yesterday we almost completed the business plan. It's ready for launch. So we are going to connect all the billions or trillions of devices also in a separate network. That is Sigfox. We have signed the agreements. That's the direction this company is growing. I mean, that's a message, for us. See, growth solves many problems. Any company, I served for a company which also was fast growing. But usually employees have aspiration. I was an employee once. I am not a standard entrepreneur like Kailash. I was getting paycheck to paycheck. I worked for last of my career. And then till I met Sunil, I got inspired. Okay, let me jump in types. So one of the aspiration is, how do I grow? What happens to me? Where do I become VP, SVP, all that? The only answer to that is grow, right? You grow the market, grow the company. Then every big it is, you have plenty. Today, that's what happened to IBUS. Today, we are like, every 3 months, there is something changing. And today, we good to see that there are about 900 associates of IBUS and everybody having multiple roles. And I keep talking to them. They say there's plenty of options. I said, you want to do Wi-Fi network specialist. Here is cellular. Here is IoT. And he say, oh, that's there. This is there. All that is what we're trying to build. So thank you very much. And I'm looking forward, as Kailash already said, I don't want to repeat it. I can see that the excitement in the team and the passion in the team, we will carry forward. We will take this cue because we strongly believe the team is how you get everybody along, Therefore, and then I specifically thank Neha for coming down. I gave just 2 days notice. I said, without Margan, I can't make this. And Nirudya, of course, thank you very much, Rishabh, and for flying down. It's not that easy to sort of rework. Thank you very much, because I want to acknowledge it. Without this and Kunal, who is not here, you wouldn't have made this happen. Because all you may think of greatest business plans, to execute it, you need the right partner, both financial and people like yourselves who could make the deal happen to convince everybody. So I'm very, very happy. We're all satisfied, Kailash. The only thing we're seeking is all your best wishes, and we will take it forward. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Okay, we have a little bit of a small video and AV to be presented off. Okay, so we'll just keep it rolling over here.
Journey so far has been really very good, very excited, a lot of learning, and have been growing from helpless engineer and today what I am in Microsense. And with this association with IBUS team, and we are really excited, and we look forward for a great career path and the growth and to go global expansion also.
So One IBUS has a larger vision for their business expansion, and I'm sure they're going to achieve it. I will be more supportive to this new venture, and once again I feel proud being part of this organization. Thank you.
It's been great journey for me in this ISO certified organization under the guidance of Kailash sir and Sujit sir. Now, Microsense as a part of IBUS, I'm very much excited and looking forward to continue my sincere effort for the company's growth. Thank you very much.
I choose Microsense because it is a rapidly growing company that provides employees with a number of opportunities for learning and development, and also for gaining experience. I strongly believe that Microsense provides a model focus on people and presents opportunities for individual to progress and develop across a range of diverse career paths.
This incident where we met the top management, we felt at home. The very first introduction that was online, we felt at home. And subsequently, we felt that work is recognized here. So we are trying our level best to do it, and we have joined the larger family of IBUS, and we welcome other members.
Say that I am in the IBUS group because there is great working culture and appreciation of work. And at the regular interval, we can involve in the outing activities and get together parties also. Last year, we were at the INC event, and I saw that our company used to place us in the top companies room. And I'm thankful to my top management for their incredible vision. Thank you.
IBUS really knows how to take care of its employees, not only in terms of work, but also in fun activities, cultural activities, sports. Just we recently played cricket tournament, which was very fun. And also it provides opportunity to people who zeal to learn new technologies.
But privileged to work in an MNC world culture, and each department here in IBUS is very supportive, from top management to middle management. I really cherish to be actively involved in team engagement activity, which create a sense of belongingness and provide platform to each individual to excel in their skill set and provide opportunity to enhance the same. Thank you.
Hello everyone. Today I'm going to share with you my experiences of how I saw Microsense grow from the time it started to where it is today. Microsense first started with assembling PCs. Of course, I was very small at that time. But as I grew, the curiosity grew and we started assembling PCs at home. With screwdrivers in one hand and excitement in the mind. It was a big achievement to see all these systems work when we put them together. As early as then, Microsense built an Indian language software called Patrika, where I saw Mr. Kailash in awe building Indian language fonts on the computers. Today, all the mobile phones support multiple languages. In 1995, Internet came to India and we became the dealers of BSNL. At that time, the equipment used to come home for testing with a slow PC, a dial-up modem with all its funny connecting sounds, a text-based black and white browser, and finally, the victory of connecting and browsing internet at such slow speeds made all of us jump in joy. This was when we entered the hospitality industry. Then from wired to wireless, the company had its own shares of ups and downs, but with a never give up attitude. To sum it all up, Microsense has always brought to the market solutions and services that were way ahead of time, carefully crafted by our founders and visionaries, Mr. Kailash and Mr. Rajiv. And I am confident that this legacy will continue under the able guidance of our new leadership team, Ram, Subhash, and Sunil. Thank you, everyone.
I would like to call in Mr. Kailash, sir. Okay. Yes, please, sir. Now I would invite Mr. Ram, Mr. Sunil, and Mr. Subhash. Honors for the man.
Yeah, next. Build our IT. Idellama.
Thank you.
I'm absolutely more than happy.
Okay, I'm going to invite the people for the honors and awards. Okay, the awards I would request Mr. Kailash to present it. Okay, the founder for the service excellence. Okay, first Shankavel. Shankavel has completed his 19 years of tenuity inside Microsense. The presentation of the shawl. Okay, next I would invite K. Venkatesh. 15 years inside Microsense. Next person whom I would like to invite is Rajesh P. 18 years of experience, tenuity, successful. Next, I would like to invite onto the stage Hariharan Ramaya. 15 years completion.
The real story about Hari. Actually, where I lived, there was a man who was looking after the security of, I forget his name. I don't know whether you know his name. Huh? Sandanam. So he said, I never used to like Sandanam. So he said, I have a guy, he's very good and all that. He bought Singapore. So he said, Talavali Solita. He said, okay, anyway, let me see him. So he came and I looked at his resume and all that, and I liked it a lot. So he came on board. How many years ago was it now?
No, 16 years.
16 years. He has been a gem for us. Even Sujit will agree with me.
Customer will wait 2-3 days if I send somebody else to fix a job.
Hari to wait for.
They got given a project to one cabling guy. One of the shoot room, he couldn't fit that cabling at all. He was trying 1 week, 10 days, but a very important thing, Oprah is supposed to come and stay there in the room. So then we sir said, I have one, I saw my remember, I don't remember, but he sent me only in silent. And he came to the room, he fixed it. Very much excited in the day he was actually doing it. So I told sir that he is the best guy to be with us.
That is true.
So he can take the smallest job to the biggest building. You give him the job, he will complete it. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Okay, next I would like to invite from the north, Mr. Imran Ali himself. 17 years of experience inside Microsense.
Imran Ali was from Delhi, and he was recruited by my colleague Deepak Talwar. And Deepak used to like Imran a lot, so which is fine by me. He likes him and all that. He can do. Then we got an order in Belfast. Belfast. 3 hotels in Belfast. Never seen. But Mr. Imran Ali goes as a lone man, carries all the stuff. I don't know how he did it.
Really?
But he went here, there, he would climb into that, anything, all single-handedly. He completed these 3 hotels, and the customers were delighted.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, now I have another person who's not available inside this premises. On his behalf, I would request one of his team members, Kannan, to. The person over here is Raja D. He is also completed successful 19 years into Microsense.
As we speak, Raja is undergoing an angioplasty today. In few hours, let's wish him all the best.
Raja.
Okay, the word last which I have, okay, the man who taught me the word forbearance. Okay, last but not least, the man standing here, Mr. Sujit Singh, okay, 15 years into Microsense.
There will be plenty of words for Sujit. Plenty of words for Sujit.
That's fine, we'll give the shot.
No, we got him. I mean, we just grabbed him, let me say. But, you know, when we recruited him, Rajiv Talwar's only one question was, can he become a CEO? And I said, yes, he can become a CEO. That's how he got recruited.
Actually, I knew Mr. Kailash from my previous job. He was my customer. We used to sell those Icon X.25 cards you were talking about. And both were in Chennai. And it so happened I was in IBM, feeling homesick. I was very happy they well paid all that, but no job. A lot of meetings internally and I was getting homesick. That's when they had an opening here as VP Sales. That's how it started his journey, I think 2007. Here we are. Thanks. Thanks.
ಅವ್ರು ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಕೊರೋಲ್ಲ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಇನ್ನೋವಾ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಸೊ ನಾನು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಇನ್ನೋವಾ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಲ್ಲ
I'm with Kailash I remember the first day when Kailash asked me an interview in the lift actually. He asked me, where are you coming from?
I couldn't even say in English. I said, Tirunelveli. That's how my first day with Mr. Kailash. See, we have given our baby in a safe hand. Please take care of our baby. Like I said earlier, see, we people are very, well-oiled machine. You should drive it carefully. Take care of them. Thank you all.
I'm just impressed, Shankavel.
Oh, correct. You get the mannerism.
Basically, somewhat it is transferred. Even the IIT brain also I can
Without studying.
That's all. That's why see him. Even though I know I have no time to see me like this. I keep on observing him, his approach and kind of advice. Not grown up from
Yes.
low level management cry from the
Manoj.
both of us experts.
Manoj.
Because
Start
we
music.
still continue. Kailash, I'm really missing him.
Don't worry, I'll try to walk with you. Sorry for try but I can't be. He's way above my
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you so much, sir. Okay, now I would request Mr. Ram to honor the rest of the guests. Okay, first I would like to invite Niruti. Okay, next, Rishabh, please. Okay, third, Neha. Okay, thank you very much, sir. Okay, so we learn many things from people. Okay, so people like Mr. Kailash, people like Mr. Sujit, people like Mr. Ram, it's just, it's not ending. Okay, so knowledge, okay, it's something which is very, very important. Okay, many times, okay, and when I get into some kind of a complication, the only thing which I ask myself is, okay, do I need that? So I talk to myself in French, saying that, okay, la question c'est voulez-vous? That's what I ask myself. So now, okay, the next agenda, I would be handing over the microphone to Mr. Uttam Vasudevan, okay, who's going to give his version of his speech. Uttam.
Hey, thanks, Arun. That was fantastic. And being part of people growth and culture, it's always a privilege, to follow all the recognition that happens. That's what we are here for. Thank you so much. Yeah. So it's all about, I think Ram touched upon this point. He said, right now, we might operate as different entities. We might also have different GST numbers. It's all about coming together, right? Coming together and how we can use that collective strength and propel our growth. That opens up a lot of doors for each one of us here. And somebody spoke about, in the video you saw, right? Somebody spoke about, how is my aspirations going to be taken care here in one IBUS? Trust me, the entire organization, that's people, growth, and culture, will be consolidated. It'll be centralized. And, that gives an expansion in terms of your career opportunities. It's only going to, scale up from now onwards, right? Be it your goal setting, be it your career conversations, be it managing your performance, or be it managing your aspirations. It'll be one and it'll be seamless across. So we are all one MyBus. Trust me, that's going to be the rallying cry go forward. And thanks all to the dignitaries coming here and gracing this occasion. Before I leave, I would like to call out one special person here, Raja. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. No, Monday and Tuesday. He has not slept last 2 nights to make this event such a successful, right? Yeah. Yeah. So I was telling him before Sapada, don't make me feel bad because, the way he looked now, maybe he needs a couple of drips, guys. Energy. And he's a highly energetic guy. And I'm sure, with the new office, new facility, we will come a lot more here. Like Subhash said, this is the best office, right, Subhash? Yeah. So thank you. Thanks again. I think we heard you when I was here last time around. This was one of the concerns that we wanted to look at better facilities, both in terms of facility and.
Acknowledge Divya and Hema.
Yeah.
They wouldn't let me. They're sitting there, come, let's go here, 5, 6 places going around. I don't know what I'm here for. I came for something else. And he said, go there, and then I was just going around the whole place. Then I'm hearing that finally they did it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, guys.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. So we as an organization are known for, working from office culture, right? So we have moved from working from home and we are moving into a new office, which is going to be working from office in literal sense, okay? Thank you so much. Thank you, sir, for coming here and gracing our occasion. Thanks, guys. Yeah.
Okay, we're just coming to the end of this particular event or the program that started off by 11 o'clock today. Now, to conclude all of the speeches and everything, okay, the final speech will be given by Mr. Sujit, sir. Okay, thank you, speech.
I was asked to do the vote of thanks, right? Should I thank the Hollywood way? You know how it is? I thank my mom, I thank my pop, I thank myself. Let me do the Indian way. But before I do so, I want to share a few tips with these budding professionals here. Last week, I think we all participated in the fireside chat hosted by Uttam, I think. Sorry, Subhash, right? He taught us about the ABC of business. I'm going to share something similar in context. Not ABC, but it's about being an ace is business. Uttam talked about one. One also means ace. We heard about ace in tennis, right? Also an ace in a pack of playing cards. Both are winners. So the ace in business, the A stands for attitude, right? It's very, very important, especially when it comes to a workplace. My HR colleagues here in Uttam and Raj would agree when they screen a candidate before hiring, attitude is one of the key traits that they look at, right? You stand a better chance to get a job if you have a good, positive mental attitude. Don't ask me how they test it, but they do look at it. In a workplace, it's very common, especially now we are going to be working together with unknown faces. You'll get thrown many tasks. Some are expected, some could be routine, some could be unexpected, some may be up to your sleeve, it will be matching your talent and skills, some may not be. You may not even know. So don't reject them. Don't say, sorry, I don't know. I have not done this before. I can't do, right? Before you find out 5 reasons why not do it, talk about that one good reason why you should do it, right? That will actually get you more support. And as I say, the chain is as strong as the weakest link, right? We're all part of a chain. If one link is weak, we don't progress as a company. So remember, attitude is one big thing. Let me ask you a question. Which animal do you think is the king of the jungle? Tiger? Any more guesses? Huh? Somebody said tiger. Okay, lion. Right answer is lion, right? But let me give you some stats. I believe research shows that a tiger is 6% larger than a lion in terms of its body mass, height and weight. And it's 8% physically stronger than a lion. So if you get a lion and a tiger to fight each other, 9 on 10, the tiger would come up trumps. But still, it is not the king of the jungle. The lion is. You know why? Any guesses? Attitude. Exactly. It's because of the attitude that lion carries. He doesn't care about anybody. So big, could be an elephant, could be a tiger. I'm the boss. It walks majestically like this, right? Hey, dude, I'm your boss. Listen to me. Right? That's the attitude it carries. So it believes in himself that he's the king. So other animals kind of obey and follow. You carry the same attitude in the workplace, right? Walk with your chest high. Walk around as if you own the place. That will give you, when you go to a customer meeting, carry that attitude with you. It can do wonders. It can help you win. The next letter in C, the ace, represents change. We all know change is constant. Things keep changing all the time. Some we may probably anticipate, some may not we may not anticipate. The demonetization was a change, right? So was the COVID pandemic. It changed our lives upside down, both personal and professional lives. Going to digital economy is a change. Online learning was a change. I mean, I can give my personal example. I have two sons, double trouble. The elder one was doing his MBA in decision science when COVID struck. He changed to online from his college courses. He was grappling with it. It had some max subjects also, so very tough for him to learn online. But he did his best. He was awake late in the night, Googling, calling his old lecturers, professors, getting some gyan, all that. Somehow he kind of made it. He went on to clear his MBA and then he did his master's and now he's settled. The second son, same time in COVID, he was doing his CMA. CMA is the erstwhile ICWA. And he also was forced to learn online, but he could never adapt to the change. He was always cribbing, Daddy, I can't understand. I can't even answer my queries. I have to put it in the chat. The professor picks up only choosy questions. Mine doesn't get answered. I can't understand. I can't learn. So in the bargain, what happened? He had to again redo the classes after a year. So because he could not adapt to change, he lost one good full year of time, right? So in business, we need to adapt to change. Customers demand that of us, right? Many times we sign a contract, the scope of work may not carry something which the customer has agreed to. Last minute they say, I want this done this way. You can't argue that time, right? You need to adapt to it, find a way to get it done. Like Uttam talked about Raj. In fact, we got the keys only on Monday. I came here yesterday, day before. It was in a mess. Painting was going on till late last night, right? And it did it all. Today, look at this. It looks spick and span, new. A lot of work has gone behind it. We didn't anticipate this change. This was supposed to happen last week, but last minute some changes happened, so we adapted to that. So please remember this change, adapt to it. Good for you, good for the organization. Last one is E. Any guess what that represents? No. No. Last one represents ethics. What is ethics? Business ethics. Ethics is something you keep doing the right thing even when no one is watching you. That is ethics. In business ethics, for example, let's say Rajesh, where is Rajesh? Okay, he keeps going to Bangalore often. Let's say he's going Shatabdi to strike a deal with Brigade Reality, right? Along with him, his co-passengers happen to be two guys going for the same deal, but from a competition camp. And they're talking about the same deal, discussing the final numbers and terms of the contract and all that. If Rajesh is ethical, he should just stand up and tell them, hey guys, I am from so-and-so company, I'm going to be competing with you in this deal. You guys may maybe talk this in private, right? Even after that, these guys keep talking, it's stupid of them. But it's up to you to get up and say that ethically is not right, right? Many times, we win engagements, especially when we have this captive managed service model, where the customer leaves the entire BOQ, including quantity, brand. It's all descriptive. We just talk about routers, switches, firewall. We don't talk about brand. After we win the contract, it's very tempting for us to change them. So we can optimize. Nice from water. We can optimize our profits. So it's very tempting for us to kind of change those, put a low-cost product, low-cost brand, cut the corners, change the quantities, right? But if we don't do that, that's being unethical, right? So in fact, the customer trusts us as an advisor, so we have to go and deliver. So be ethical in business. Remember this ace. Take this pledge that we step ahead as an ace in this company together with IBUS. Now let me conclude this program finally by thanking first Mr. Kailash. My sincere thanks to him for building and leaving behind a legacy in Microsense for 40 long years. It's not easy. I Googled the other day to check which is the oldest IT services company in India. I got the name as TCS. 1977 they started. We are at 82, just 4 years behind. I'm sure we may be among the top 10 IT services oldest companies in this country now. and IBUS is just carrying forward that legacy. We must include this in our branding as a message. Yeah. Rome was not built in a day. We have taken 40 years. So technically and mathematically, probably we have a bigger empire than Rome today, right? Created one. I thank Ram, Subhash, and Sunil for reposing the faith in us and in carrying us all together in their aspiring journey and ambitious growth plans as we move ahead as one large company in this new avatar as Microsense 2.0 and IBUS Enterprise, right? A special thanks to guests in Neha, who's come all the way. Thank you for making it. Niruti, Rishabh, and JD. I don't see Abdul here. Yeah. And GD Singh, my colleague Manik from Bangalore, and all the IBUS colleagues, Uttam and co, that have come from Bangalore to make this event happen. Thanks a lot for being with us today and making this a very special occasion. I'm sure we'll cherish these moments and videos once we start sharing it outside. Before we proceed to lunch, I just want to make a small ritual. Shankavil, Ram, you may have to come here.
Yeah.
This is not in your syllabus. Something.
Just recognize TTC partner.
Oh yeah, Reshma, I forgot. Yeah. She's the core anchor behind all of this. It's her brainchild. Yes, please come.
Please.
Toss the coin. Reshma is one of the managing partners. We look up to them as our CMO for this organization, and they have a.
Not only give the thing, you get this additional thing.
They have a big roadmap for us to kind of.
They have been helping us. In fact, we have not done any marketing of anything in IBUS. I think we are like shy guys. We just don't know. We just do our stuff. Then we decided after a conversation with Reshma and Jen, then we at least are getting some direction and how to do this. I don't think even now we are getting it right, but thank you very much for coming down.
Thank you for trusting us.
Thanks, Reshma. Thanks. And we do Jane also. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, before we all proceed for a sumptuous lunch that is waiting for us, many of you guys have not even had breakfast, so let me quickly finish it off. Yeah, so I just request you to come here. I just request Mr. Kailash to order on this head here or a throne to Mr. Ram to symbolically no this it's no to symbolically represent that you're going to carry on this baton. Yeah. What is the plan for lunch? How do we go? I think it's a 20-seater there. We may have to do it in turns. And I request the guests who have joined us to first, please. Atithi Devo Bhava. Please. Yeah. Thanks. Thank you all. Thank you very much. All the best. Let's look forward to a great year ahead. Thanks, Ram. Thanks.